Hi, before I get into character, I just want to say a quick warning that this video will have some light and mild Tangled the series spoilers. So if you don't want to know things about Tangled the series, maybe you don't watch this video yet, come back and watch it once you've seen the series, because you should watch the series. Or if you don't mind about mild spoilers, it's not anything that you probably wouldn't have seen before on the internet, but just in case you avoid them, wanted to give a warning. I love you guys. Mwah. Hi everyone! My good friend Ashlee told me that you guys were super curious and had lots of questions that you wanted to ask me, and I thought that sounded like the most fun ever, so I thought I could come and say hi and answer some of your questions today. I'm super excited that you guys are all super curious, because I'm a really curious person too, so I just thought this would be so much fun. So the first question one of you guys sent in is, how does my scalp not hurt? Honestly, I think the answer is magic. I think because my hair has some magical qualities to it, I think that's why it doesn't hurt too much. Back when I was pulling Mother Gothel up the tower every single day, my scalp did hurt sometimes, but ever since touching the black rocks, it's kind of indestructible, so it doesn't really hurt anymore. But yeah, I think the answer is magic. I don't recommend anyone else using their hair in the same way that I use mine. Did Eugene's smolder not traumatize you like it did me? Well, first of all, I'm very sorry that Eugene's smolder traumatized you, although I do kind of look forward to telling him that it traumatized you. No, but I love Eugene's smolder. He knows that I love his smolder. It's very fun to do. I've been practicing my own. Honestly, the first time that I saw Eugene's smolder, it just made me feel better because it made him look a little less threatening, so I knew for sure he wasn't a ruffian. What was my biggest culture shock when I left the tower? Oh my goodness, so many things. The whole world was completely brand new to me, so many things. Just the feeling of different ground beneath my feet is one of my favorite things. No matter where I travel to, there's always new feelings to experience, like walking through dirt or pavement or grass or sand on the beach. It's all amazing and more than I ever daydreamed there could be when I was in my tower. And everything smells different too, no matter where you go. The smell of the bakery as you're walking through the kingdom versus when you're in the enchanted wood versus when you're in a new kingdom. Everything smells so different and sounds different. You can hear different animals. Being able to go out and explore and really feel spaces be different as you adventure is one of my favorite things since leaving the tower. Do I have to wash my hair or is it magically clean? And if I have to wash it, how do I get anything else done? That's a really fun question. Honestly, I've just gotten pretty good at getting a lot of things done before 7:15. I do have to wash it though, and it does take a good amount of time, but you know, you get used to it. Back when I was in the tower, I only had so many things to do, so I found a pretty efficient way of getting it all clean. Looking back on my childhood, knowing what I know now, what are my thoughts on Mother Gothel and how she treated me? That's a really tough one. The thing about Mother Gothel is that I do believe that deep down she did love me to some capacity. I don't think she could have taken care of me for 18 years if she didn't on some level care about my well-being as well as my hair, but that might just be a bit of a coping mechanism. I've been told I can be a little naive, but I do like to think that she cared about me in her own way. But obviously since escaping the tower, I've come into people like my parents and Eugene and Cass who treat me and love me how a person should be loved. I can recognize now that that's not exactly what my experience with Mother Gothel was like. She wasn't the kindest person to me, and you should be kind to the people that you care about. Was Cassandra my gay awakening? I suppose so, yeah. I mean, I was stuck in a tower for 18 years of my life, so I wasn't really meeting many people, so I suppose she was, yeah. Do I ever miss Mother Gothel the tiniest bit? For sure. She was the only person I knew for almost all of my life, and I did think she was my mother for most of that time, so for sure I miss her a lot of the time actually, but it's part of the past. We have to keep moving on. What was it like to see the lanterns in person? Thank you so much for asking about the lanterns. It was truly a dream come true. I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to live up to everything that I wanted it to be, but it was just such a dream, and I'm so glad that I got to experience it with Eugene there with me. And I still get to see them every year now from the best seats that you could possibly have, and I have some hanging up in my bedroom, and it's amazing. Does Pascal play any pranks on Eugene? Pascal, do you want to answer this one? No? Yes, he does. Do Eugene and I go to the Snuggly Duckling all the time? We love to visit the Snuggly Duckling, actually. It's so much fun. We see a lot of the ruffians around Corona a lot more now, which is lovely. I think we would probably visit more if we only got to see our friends when we went there, but we love going to the Snuggly Duckling. We go for a bit of nostalgia all the time. It's great to have a drink or two there and sing a song or two. Before my hair grew back, did I kind of enjoy low maintenance, or do I wish Eugene hadn't cut it so short? I actually loved having short hair. It was so much easier. As I was saying before, you know, it can be a lot of work to deal with this much hair. It can be a lot to wash it and to braid it and to just take care of it. It can be a lot of work. I loved having short hair. I didn't have to do anything with it. It was so easy to keep clean. The only thing was that I had to readjust to not having my hair when I got in some disagreements with people, but you know, frying pans are great for that. I was seen in the background of Elsa's Coronation. How was it? Thank you so much for asking about Elsa's Coronation. It was amazing. Eugene and I love going to New Kingdom, so when we got invited to Elsa's Coronation, we were so excited to go to Arendelle. Obviously, it turned into a bit of a situation. You know, when the feud froze over, we got trapped there for a couple more days than we had planned, but I love this now, so I wasn't complaining. Eugene didn't love it quite as much, but honestly, it was just super exciting for me to see that another queen in another kingdom had magical powers just like I do. And we got to talk to Elsa and Anna a lot when everything calmed down, and Corona and Arendelle are now very close kingdoms. It was a really exciting couple of days. What is my worst memory and what is my best memory? Honestly, I think my worst memory might be when Cassandra betrayed me. I've had a lot of experiences the last few years, some good, some not so good, but that was really difficult for me to cope with for a long time, and I didn't like the anger towards Cassandra that it brought up in me. A lot of the time when I'm facing these great evils, it's okay because I'm facing them with my friends, but when I was facing against a friend, that was a whole new kind of awful. My best memory is probably still seeing the lanterns for the first time with Eugene. How does my hair not get tangled? I see what you did there. Honestly, once again, the answer is probably magic. What are my favorite books that I read in the tower? Thank you so much for asking. I spent a lot of time reading, but we didn't actually have that many books in the tower. Gothel only got me a few, so I just read them 1,000 times over. I really love fairy tales. I read a lot of fairy tales while in the tower, and I just absolutely adored them. They gave me so much hope, and I love how simple they are, and I learned a lot of lessons from fairy tales, so I would recommend just reading a bunch of fairy tales if you want to do what I did. I also read a lot of books about astrology, and I got to learn how to chart stars. So if you're interested in astrology, maybe you could learn how to chart stars too. After Cassandra betrayed me, did I ever think that we would be friends in the end? I always thought that Cass and I were going to be friends. I was very hurt by what she did, but I never gave up on her. I always knew that she was good in her heart and that we would become friends again. How's Varian doing? Thank you for asking about Varian. He's doing great. He's the official alchemist of Corona now, so he's off creating all these not magic, but pretty magical concoctions that just keep improving Corona as a kingdom. He's amazing. He's a genius. I love Varian. He's one of my best friends. What is my favorite thing to paint? Thank you so much for asking about what I love to paint. I really love to paint all my friends and family. I have a journal that I just draw paintings of all of my adventures in, and I love getting to paint me and my friends off on these incredible journeys. I think I've gotten pretty good at painting them too. Not to brag, but I think I definitely get Eugene's nose right. How proud am I to have made the frying pan a primary weapon for a whole kingdom? I'm not so sure that I've done it for a whole kingdom, but definitely for our royal guard, at least, I think. Frying pans, who knew, right? Is the pan heavy? Kinda, but you get used to it. Do I still keep in touch with the guys from the Snuggly Duckling? Of course I do. As I was saying before, a lot of them are in Corona now. So Attila co-owns the Bacon Sweet Shop with Monty, and Hookhand and Hookfoot are off on a world tour, and they're playing amazing music, and Hookfoot is doing amazing dancing. We get to see them perform sometimes when they're in a nearby kingdom. They're all doing just amazing, and Eugene and I do visit the Snuggly Duckling sometimes too. Shorty is also always around, but they're all following their dreams, which is the most amazing thing to see. What's my favorite Taylor Swift song and album? Thank you very much for asking. I think my favorite album is Speak Now, and my favorite song is probably Enchanted. Have Eugene and I tied the knot yet? And if we have, are there any big adventures we still want to go on? So after years and years of asking, he finally said yes. I'm just kidding. We asked each other a bunch of times, but we have finally tied the knot. I will say that. We still have so many adventures we want to go on. We get to go on a bunch of adventures for Corona now, which is so much fun. We get to just go off on these adventures to learn more about the kingdom or to learn about the other kingdom and get to know the royalty there and make negotiations, and we're always going to be adventuring. I don't think either of us could just settle down and never go on any more journeys. Not after everything we've been through. I think we're always going to be adventuring. But we're very happy. Thank you for asking. So I think those are all the questions you guys had. Thank you so much for being so curious and wanting to know about me and Eugene. This has been so much fun. I hope that it's been fun for you guys. I love all of you, and I hope you have the best day ever. Mwah. Hi, it's Editing Ashley. If you've made it this far through the video, thank you for watching. Sorry about my accent. Also, here's just me trying to say fjord. When the fjord froze over. Oh my god.